I understand the technical purpose of schools, to educate, to teach. Students need to go to school and learn. But unfortunately, I found no fun in schools. I didn't go to schools because I wanted to, but rather because I had to. But before I go on, I would like to give a warning to my parents. Please, cover your ears. If the cafeteria food were delicious that day, the time at school would be worth it. If I had scored a goal that day during soccer, the time at school would be great. My school life was simple. Ironically, Steve Jobs' famous quote of "simplicity is the uttermost beauty" is not very true. There was a time when my eyes were becoming hazy and my mind was drunk. Then I met my hero, Mrs. Peterson. It was a turning point in my life when I walked through the doors of the new school. When I walked through the doors of the new classroom, the teacher was smiling at me with this ridiculously large grin saying, "Hi." Even though a smiling teacher is a common sight, I could feel the love emanating from her. And that was how the classes with my teacher started. Mrs. Peterson changed me because I could feel her sincerity. She listened to every one of us individually. She listened to even I, who was rumored to be a student who didn't care about studying, who wandered around in imagination. She even responded to my outrageous questions and jokes very humorously, and strangely enough, sometimes congratulating me for my neat ideas. Class became something exciting and fun, and slowly but surely, without realizing, I concentrated in these classes. Mrs. Peterson's passion for teaching was special. At a morning class in November, she scolded a student quietly at a desk for completing his assignment at 2 a.m. She always waited for students to complete their assignments. She gave comments for them for everything, anytime, and everywhere. But assignments weren't the only thing she did for us. Unlike other teachers, I could feel the passion she had for all students, and it overflowed on top of us like a pot of soup. Her influence reached all of us. But just as much as she was trying hard, I could also feel myself changing. When she complimented the description in my narrative, I had a possibility, I realized. I have one, and it's up to how hard I tried. From that moment, my perspective on how I looked at things changed. I tried everything really hard. I participated in everything, always raised my hand in class, and wrote research papers. Now, I enjoy class more than anyone else. But so far, I think I've only listed the common traits that excellent teachers have. But there is a definite reason Mrs. Peterson became my hero. Suddenly, from December, she didn't come to school for 1.5 weeks. We were all very curious and worried. And then, during social studies, everybody heard the shocking news over the crackly school announcement set. Mrs. Peterson had been diagnosed with cancer once again during the post-treatment stage. I was shocked, very shocked. But what was even more surprising was what she'd done for us. Even though the treatment must have been extremely difficult and traumatizing, she never showed a single sign that she was in pain. Moreover, she taught us better than any other teacher did. We hoped and we hoped some more for her to get better. We folded 1,000 paper cranes for her with our hopes held inside. And luckily, when she came back on the 9th of February, back to school, our class cheered loudly for her and presented her with a large sack of crinkled origami cranes. Our teacher smiled at us, and that made it all worth it. I really believe that teachers are central to education. They are like the thrusters on a rocket. Without them, education cannot stand. Education cannot stand. But moreover, I really believe that sometimes when you meet people, you go beyond your scope of being great. From a certain point, you become overwhelmed by their greatness and respect them from the bottom of your heart. My hero is my teacher. I do not know whether they will look small and unimportant compared to the countless numbers of heroes in this world. A hero to me, however, is somebody who changed me, somebody who flipped me inside out and got me in the right direction. Mrs. Peterson changed the part of my life that takes up a large amount of time and changed me to the curious, positive child that I used to be. Like Miss Peterson, I want to become the person who has the influence to change somebody's life. You gave me an infinity within the number of days, and I'm thankful. Thank you.